What is the best way to answer a situational question in a Scrum Master interview? That's the question we are going to answer today. What is going on, guys and girls? Welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to go over a specific way that you have to answer Scrum Master interview question that is situational, which most of them are. For example, if someone asks you how did you resolve conflict in your team? Tell us about a time when you pushed against and resistance that you faced in your team while implementing agile practices. So all these questions, everything in a Scrum Master interview, most of the questions are situational questions, and they need to be answered in a specific way, and that way is called the STAR method. Now, this STAR method, what it contains is it contains a situation, it contains a task, it contains an action, and it contains a result. So basically, you will start with a situation, you will create a situation on your own, then you will create the task, what your responsibility was in that situation, then you will create the action, what steps you took to address that situation, and then you will share the result, what outcomes you achieved in that situation. That's how we answer every situational question in a Scrum Master interview. Let's start with one example. For example, let's say the question is, tell us about a time when you had to resolve conflict within your team members. So that is one question that's asked in almost every Scrum Master interview. So now, first, you will create a situation. Yeah, sure. In one of the places I used to work at, we had a conflict between a senior developer and a junior developer. And what the issue was that the junior developer was kind of needing help with ramping up and with the technology and things like that. And the senior developer didn't have time. He was busy with his own work, and he was not able to give time. And so that was created a little friction between them because the junior developer felt that he was being ignored. That was the situation. So STAR method, first thing is a situation. Now we have created a situation that we had a conflict between the junior and the senior developer. Junior developer was new, he needed help with technology. Senior developer was busy, and the junior developer felt ignored, and that created a little friction, and that irritated the junior developer, and it created a little friction, right? Now that's the situation we have created when we are asked the question, tell us about a time when you had a conflict within the team and how did you resolve it. Right now, let's move on to the next part of the STAR method, which is the T. T stands for task. Describe what your responsibility was in that situation. So yeah, so in that situation, what I did was that so in that situation, what I did was I came to know about it. And as a Scrum Master, what I did was I had a one-on-one with the senior developer and the junior developer and showed empathy towards both of their situation. I showed empathy towards the senior developer that he has a lot of workload on his plate already and he doesn't have time for the junior developer. And I showed empathy towards the junior developer as well. And once I had the one-on-one and I understood their situation better, I had a joint meeting with both of them, and I sat down with them and I facilitated the conversation where they can come together every day or every week twice, and they can set some time together in their calendar where they can come together and they can resolve their issues. And if there is anything that doesn't work out that way, then I can come in the picture and I can facilitate that meeting every week between the two of them and make sure that the issue get resolved, right? So it's asking what was your responsibility in that situation. So basically I was a Scrum Master, and my responsibility was to make sure that the conflict gets resolved. Okay, so now we have set the scene. The scene is that the junior developer, senior developer have friction, and my responsibility is that to resolve conflict, act as a Scrum Master and make sure there is no conflict between the team members and the junior team member doesn't feel ignored or left out, and the senior team member doesn't feel irritated. And what action steps you took to address it. So what I did was, as I said, what I did was we basically had a one-on-one, showed empathy, and then decided to have a joint meeting between them every week so that the junior developer can easily ramp up with the technology skills and then know what he's doing, and so that he can help the senior developer in the long term. Once the junior developer knows the technology, it will help the senior developer reduce his workload, so it will help him in the long term. So it's like he's making an investment in himself. And what was the result? Share what outcomes your actions achieved. So what ended up happening was that we ended up having that meeting every week, and the junior developer was able to ramp up and learn the skills that needed to be learned for the particular role. And after that, he felt very comfortable and the conflict was resolved. Okay, that's one way to answer the STAR method question. So we created a situation. There was a situation where the junior developer and senior developer were having a lot of friction, and the junior developer needed help with learning technology, but the senior developer didn't have the time. He already had a lot of work on his plate, so he was not able to help the junior developer. So in that situation, what I did was, that was the situation, and my responsibility was to make sure there is no conflict between the team members and everything goes smooth. And the junior developer, if he needs help with technology and he needs help with ramping up, we are able to do that, and we are able to help him ramp up and onboard. And what action I took is that I had a one-on-one with both the senior developer and the junior developer, and I showed empathy towards their cause. And once I had a one-on-one with them, then I was able to set up a joint meeting with them every week where they come together, and the senior developer helps the junior developer a specific time every week. And they meet, and they help the junior developer on board so that he can help the senior developer in the long term. And once I was able to show the value to the senior developer, uh, the result was that the outcome was that they both agreed to it, as it was a win-win situation for both, and they both agreed to it, and they both agreed to meet one every week, and that's how the problem was resolved. So that's how you answer a star question, star method. That's how you answer a Scrum Master interview question with the star method. The ideal situation, every question you get asked, you have to answer it this way. If you get asked, unless it's like an introductory question, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself. In that case, you will tell where you have worked, what you have done, what roles you have done, what you're doing right now as a Scrum Master. But if it's anything other than that, it has to be answered in a star way. You create a situation, you create what role did you play in that situation, you create what action you took, and you create the result that you gave. So that will give the interviewer a very good understanding of how you handle it, what problems you faced, what your experience level is like, and it'll make your answers more impressive. So that's how you use the star method to answer questions. And thank you so much for watching. And if you like this type of content, leave me a like and subscribe to the channel down below. I will leave a link to this article in the chat, so feel free to go through it, read on it, and understand what they are saying. It's a very good article. I really liked it. And if you are someone who's looking for coaching, who's looking for a Scrum Master job, who needs help with interview prep, who needs help with job search, who needs help with resume prep, who needs mentorship, click on the link down below, set up a consultation. This is a one-time fee that you pay by clicking on the link down below, and it will cover the whole process. I will basically hold your hand from here until you get the job, and then once you get the job, I'll give you free 1 month shadowing to make sure that you do your job well, to make sure that you do a great job at your job, right? So if you need help, make this investment in yourself, click on the link down below, and this one-time fees will get you in the door. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.